welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrea the Cumbrian Crafter. I've come on today to show you my next batch of completed iCads for the DY iCad 2025 challenge, which is held over on Instagram. I'll leave all the links in the description box down below if you want to go along and check it out. So my days of completed iCads are from 8 to 14. So my day 8 is sorbet. This one is a background of distress oxide, sort of running from pink, blue through to yellow, and then some spritz sprays through a stencil. And then on top of that, it's a tracing paper cut out in the shape of a sort of glass little bowl that you would have your sorbet in. And then I watercoloured some circles on a piece of card, different colours, and then I covered them with glossy accents so you can see them shining there in the camera. And some couple of leaves, and then I stamped out on the tracing paper again the word sorbet. So that was day 8. Day 9 is embroidery. Now this one here is a small little embroidery kit that was gifted to me. This was it here. This was given to me by Jacqueline, snail mail mummy, in some happy mail that she sent me. Can't remember whether it was earlier this year or whether it was last year, but I've had this in my craft room for a little while and I've kept picking it up and putting it down. It's a long time since I've done some needlework, some cross stitch, but I thought this was perfect. So I actually sat and completed the little embroidery kit, and then I cut it out and I coloured in just with watered down distress oxide, just to get rid of the white background of the actual tapestry canvas, and it's same around the bottom there, the brown, and I just made a background for it and stuck it down. It just says bloom where you're planted. I just added some other little lavinia mushrooms there in the background. So that was embroidery. So day 10 we have arrow. So I've just done some little sort of fodder, little arrows, where you just use the technique of watercolouring some arrows and then going round the edge of them with a fine line pen, black pen, and then little patterns inside, dots with a white marker and little bits and pieces like that. And I've fussy cut those out and then stuck them down on I think it's salvage patina background, and just got this lovely stamp here, Catch Your Dreams, which has got a little arrow on the end, and that was a woodware stamp set. It had quite a few to pick from that all had little arrows on the end, so I just went with Catch Your Dreams and just some stamping around the outside. And I love the colour in the background, the teal colour, one of my favourite colours. Next one is day 11, and it is tide pool. Now I first heard this, I thought, oh, what's a tide pool? So I googled it, and it's obviously what we call in the UK is a rock pool. So I think it's an American phrase. They would call it a tide pool, which is quite cool really, because it is the tide that washes in and leaves the little pools in the rocks. So this one here, I've just drew some sort of rock shapes and watercoloured them in. This is a little piece of ephemera which I've got. It's like a iridescent little shell, and then I had a starfish in my stash, and then this was some seaweed. It's like a seaweed sticker, and then I used like a mica watercolour paint and then glossy accents the top just to make that shine. If you can see, it's like a little rock pool on there. So that was day 11. Day 12 is twig. So for this one, quite a simple one, I've just used different browns in the background. I've created that look just by putting the ink on my gel plate and spritzing it with water and pressing the card down. I'm really enjoying that technique at the moment. I'm doing that quite a lot. And then I used a stamp just to create the leaves in the background, and then actually freehand drew the little twig lettering on some other card that had this brown ink already on it, and I fussy cut that out and stuck it down. I say quite a simple one for twig. And then day 13 is iridescent. So I've gone with this one here. If you can see, it changes colour. I didn't realise, but the the mica powders that I use are actually called chameleon mica powders, so they do change colour when you tilt them in the light. So I thought, well, that's got an iridescent look to it, so I went with that. So the actual stamp itself is taken from the visible image stamp. I use this quite a lot. You can see from the this stamp set itself. It's covered in ink still. So I've just stamped the butterfly effect on there as well, and it was again another smooshed background from my gel plate. I think that was using, it was either Tattered Rose or Spun Sugar. I think it was maybe Tattered Rose. I just wanted something just to take the white off the back of the card. And then second generation stamp in there just to make the green so it doesn't stand out too much and detract from the main image, the butterfly. And then the last one today is day 14, which is Leopard. And another straightforward one again. I've got an ink, I think I just used a blending brush and I spritzed it with water. I think that was using Rustic Wilderness. And then I've done some stenciling. I think this was Forest Moss. And I used what I had left from my Stamperia Amazonia pad. You can see there's the leopard there. So it's a lovely image of the leopard, and I've just put some little scraps around there. So there we go. So those are my iCads for this time. So if you want to check out, I love watching everybody's interpretation of the same prompt. It's really, really interesting and so much fun to be a part of. So if you want to see what everybody else has been making, as I say, I will leave it all linked in the description box down below. And thank you for watching today, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.